Hi, thanks for coming to check out this video. My name's Josh Prouse and I'm the creator of SmartShoppingList.com. I'm really excited to give you a little demo today, so let's go ahead and jump right in. First of all, this is the home page and you can see there's a little blurb on the left hand side, and on the right hand side we have the login box, but that's no good to you because you don't have an account yet. So let's get you signed up. Click on the 60-second sign up tab down at the bottom and you'll see the area where we ask for some information about you. First of all, we need an email address so that we can get in contact with you. I'm going to go ahead and create a demo account here. You'll notice that as you enter valid information, the little warning triangles on the right-hand side will turn into check marks. When you enter in a password, you need to make sure that you enter it twice. This makes sure you don't accidentally misspell it and then expect to log in with the wrong password. When you enter in your country, the website will try to match it with an existing country in our database. If it pops up, you can pick it from the list and hit enter. If it doesn't, go ahead and just type in the country and we'll add it to the database. Next, enter in the closest thing that you have to a postal code in your area. And then pick a nickname that you'll use when you're on the website. It's the identification that other members on the site will see about you, so they won't know your actual identity. Then click the Join Now button.
Once you've logged in, you come to your shopping page. This is where you create a master list of everything that you'd ever buy. It's really easy to add an item. Like for example, let's say I wanted to add something to the bakery section. Maybe I'd like to get some bagels. There you have it. You type in the name of the item, hit enter, and it'll pop it into the list in that category. Now, the item line has a bunch of stuff on it that I'll describe to you. First of all, the name of the item appears in blue. If you click on the item name, a purchase history of that item will appear underneath it. Because we've never bought this item before, we don't have any information here yet. To the left of the item name is a $ icon. The $ icon means you need this item, so you have to buy it the next time you go out shopping. Anytime you add a new item to your list, it will be added as needed. So it'll come up with a little $. On the right-hand side of the item name is a number, and this is the quantity of those things you need to buy. So you can click the up arrow to increase the quantity or the down arrow to decrease the quantity. If you decide that, yes, I'd like to keep this item in my list, but I don't need it the next time I go shopping, you can click the little minus shopping cart icon over here on the right. When I click this icon, it changes the I need this icon into a plus shopping cart icon. If you decide that you want this item, you can click the plus shopping cart icon and it'll turn back into a $. The only difference is that if an item is listed with a plus shopping cart, it means that you haven't added this to your to buy list. So basically, when you go to print out a shopping list, this item won't be on it. So always make sure if you do need something that you have a $. Beside it. If you later decide that you don't want this item at all, then you can click on the X. This starts the process of deleting an item. So when you click on the X, a check mark will appear. If you are sure that you don't want this item in your list, you can click on the check mark and it'll remove the item from your master list. If you change your mind, clicking on the X will cancel the deletion. I'm going to get rid of this item just so you can see what it looks like. And it's gone. What you may have noticed as we were working with the master list is a bunch of messages appearing over here on the right-hand side. There's a status panel here that keeps track of everything that's happening while you're using the system. So anything you do gets recorded in here, and if there's a problem with anything you're trying to do, you'll see a message over here telling you what the problem was and hopefully giving you a clue on how to fix it.
So let's add a few items to our master list. If we type milk into the dairy category, you'll see a bunch of matches show up in a drop-down list. Any item that has the word milk in its name will appear, and you can scroll down through this list using the mouse or using your cursor keys, hitting enter on whatever you like, or to get rid of the list, just hit escape. You can hit enter in the box, and that'll add the item to your list. Any of those methods work. So let's add some broccoli down to produce. You can see that broccoli brings up things like chicken breasts, or 12-grain bread, anything that has BR in it. So the nice thing about this method is that not only does it mean you can only type a couple of letters and get to the items, you might actually see a list of some items that you hadn't thought of adding to your list that'll show up because other people have added it to their list. So what happens when you add a completely new item to the database? Let's add AAA batteries. After the item gets added, you'll notice that your shopping score goes up by 1 point. Every time you add an item to the database that wasn't there before, we give you a point. And that's to thank you for making a contribution to the shopping community here. When you're ready to print your list, just click on the print link up in the top right-hand corner. This page shows all of your categories, all of your items that are needed when you go shopping, and how many of each you need to buy. After you've printed this page out, you can click on the Back to Your Shopping List link to get back to your main list. Let's go ahead and buy some items. I can click on this $ icon to buy milk. But before I do, it's good to know what these fields up here do. There's a date field and a store field. These will set the time and place that you bought the item when you click on the $. The nice thing about the date field is that you can type in any kind of casual word to refer to the date, so you don't have to memorize any crazy date formats. If you went shopping last week, just type last week into the date box, and the website will convert it into the proper date format. If you type in the name of the store where you went shopping into the Set Store field, a list of matching stores will appear, and you can select one the same way you do with the item drop-downs. Now whenever you buy an item, it'll be stamped with last week's date and the store that you selected. So I'm going to click on the $ here, and when I look at the information for this item, I can see it was purchased 7 days ago at Safeway, but I can't tell when it's going to be needed next because I haven't purchased it more than once. So I'm going to buy this item again. I'll change the status, and then I'll go up here and change the date to today. And this time when I click on purchase, you can see that it was last purchased today, and its estimated next purchase date will be in 7 days because I've purchased it twice with 7 days in between. So the website will use this information to try to guess when you'll need to buy your item next. Now you'll notice that after you purchase an item, its status changes to not needed. So I have this little plus shopping cart icon here. I'm going to add a Rockstar beverage in as an item that I'm going to purchase on a daily basis. So you'll see I've added Rockstar to my list. I'm going to change the date to yesterday, buy the item, then I'll change it to today and buy the item again. So I've told the website that I've bought the item yesterday and today, and you'll notice that the status didn't change. It stays with the $ because it knows I'm going to need to buy this again tomorrow, and that's so close that it doesn't want to mark this item as not needed when I do need it for tomorrow. So whenever you need to buy an item within a couple of days, the item stays marked as needed to make sure you don't accidentally forget to pick it up if you happen to go shopping. But what if you accidentally mark an item as having been purchased at the wrong store or on the wrong day? That's where the concept of your shopping history comes in. If you click on your shopping history tab, you'll see a list of all the purchases you've ever made, listed in chronological reverse order, showing the store where you purchased them as well. You can select items by clicking in the boxes next to them, or by using the Select All and Select None links at the top of the page or at the top of every category. By the way, these little green circles that are popping up are part of the screen capture software I'm using. They're not actually on the website, so don't get too excited. I'm going to say that all the purchases I made today actually took place at a different store. So I'm going to type No Frills into the store box and hit enter. And you can see that the store for those two items changes to No Frills. So now I've fixed that. And maybe yesterday I didn't actually buy any Rockstar, so if I check that item and click the delete button and then confirm, it'll remove that purchase from your shopping history. And when you go back to your list and look at the history of Rockstar, you can see that it's been changed to purchase today at no frills, but it can't estimate the next purchase date because I've only bought it once. Over time, your shopping history will get a lot of items in it, but don't be tempted to erase any that are legitimate. If you do, the website might be less accurate about predicting when you might next need an item. So that's how the list works. But if you're not a big fan of typing, you can add items to your list just using your mouse by pointing and clicking. That's what the whole shebang is for. This is an alphabetical list of all the items in the database. Anytime you click on a letter in the list up at the top, you'll see a list of all the items that have a word in their name that starts with that letter. So for example, if I click on A, you'll see I have things like acorn squash and asparagus and AAA batteries. If I add acorn squash by clicking on it, I'm asked to pick a department to add that item to. So I'm going to go down and select produce. That item's removed from the list and added to your master list down here at the bottom. Any personal settings can be changed in the Your Preferences section. Click on the tab, and you'll see you have access to change your email address, your country, postal code, or nickname. But make sure that your email address and nickname are unique. If you pick one that someone else is already using, you'll get an error message. This is also the place where you can change your password if you happen to forget it. By using the Forgotten Password feature on the website, you'll get a temporary password that you would paste into the current password box, and then you can type a new password that's easier to remember into the new password and new password checkboxes, and then click Save Your Preferences. If you want to get in touch, click on the Feedback Contact tab. Here you can send me a message by entering in your email address and any question or feedback you might have. Anything from I like how this works to I don't like how this works, or any suggestions for new features or technical problem. If you do have a technical problem, please be sure to include as much information about it as you can, like any error messages or whatever you clicked on. The last tab in the menu is the Help and Frequently Asked Questions tab. If you click on this tab, you'll see a list of frequently asked questions or any topics that I think might need to be addressed with more information. If you click on a question, the answer will appear underneath it. When you're done reading it, you can get rid of the answer by clicking on the question again. That just about wraps it up. When you're finished, you can click on the Logout button, and you'll be returned to the home page screen. Down at the bottom of the login box is a Forgot Your Password link. If you forgot your password, click on it, and you'll be taken to a page where you can enter in your email address, and then just click on the Reset My Password button. This will email you a new temporary password that you can use to log in with, and once you've logged in, you can go to your User Preferences page and change your password back to something easier to remember. All of the instructions for how to do this are included up at the top of the page. That about wraps it up, except for the links across the top of the page here. Every page on the website has access to these links, even if you haven't logged in. There's a link for advertisers. There's a call for creative help. I need a logo and a slogan, and I'm not good at those things. So if you send in something I like, I don't mind paying a couple of bucks for it. If you want to get in touch, you can contact me through a contact form without even logging in if you have questions about the site. And lastly, you can go read the blog. This is where I document what this experience has been like, from coming up with the idea for the site to dealing with all the frustrations and challenges and amazing highs and lows of building a website application. It's also where I'll be posting any news about the website, so if you're interested, check back from time to time or subscribe to the RSS feed. So that's it. Sign up, take it for a test drive, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch.